Hello, my name is Christian Torres, and today I will be trying to persuade you to never ever kill a bee or spider again in your life. Because without bees or spiders, the world would be doomed, and this is because of how bees are responsible for all our world's flowers to bloom, which provide us with the oxygen we need every day. And spiders, they make sure that the insect population isn't out of control to the point where it'd be a big problem for humans. Now, although they may seem scary at first glance with, how creepy crawlies are and everything, they're actually quite harmless, despite their stingers or fangs scaring you. And so, bees and spiders are just peaceful bugs just doing their part every day to make sure the world's keeping its natural order at bay. And I've been studying bees and spiders ever since I read about them in an encyclopedia as a kid. And a lot of sources online, as well as TV documentations, describe these insects as being our world's saviors. And for starters, they've been around for hundreds of millions of years. Want me to be more specific? Bees have been around for 100 million years, almost 120 million. Depends which bee you want to count as the oldest bee embedded in amber. And spiders have been around since the Devonian period, 380 million years ago. And their task back then was to devour disgusting insects like giant cockroaches, giant silverfish, slaters, and millipedes. Gross. But as I said before, both ensure that humans survive. This would be because of how bees actually create a third of the food's production. And spiders, which would be invertebrates without spines, they make up of, they're a part of the 98% of animal species, which means they are vital to functioning ecosystems. So without them, we'd be doomed as well. Both provide very important resources. Bees provide honey, and everyone loves honey. It can be added to your tea to enhance the effects, or people have made it very medical as well. It can be very healing and do miracles. And spiders, their web is one of the most strongest, flexible, natural biomaterial known to man. In fact, spider silk is the strongest known material known to man when you think about it being a biomaterial, which means it's natural. So, something you probably didn't know is that spider venom is actually used in painkillers. So next time you take a painkiller for some pain, think a spider. And bees, as I said before, determine if beautiful flowers are spread and bloom, as bees help flowers grow. Because in return for a delicious meal, the bees help the plants reproduce by moving pollen between the male and female stigma parts of a flower. This acts as pollination, which would be the first step in spreading seeds and creating new beautiful plants, both oxygen and food related. And spiders keep the number of unwanted insects low. So, did you know that a spider in your house actually does you a favor, and killing it would do more harm than good, since it makes sure it kills those pesky mosquitoes or other flies and annoying bugs you wouldn't want around. Speaking of mosquitoes, they love eating mosquitoes, and mosquitoes are actually prone to more murders to humans than spiders are, because spiders haven't had a confirmed kill or a fatal bite since Australia 1979. So we'll move on to the next point. Spiders and bees actually are harmless if you leave them alone. Let's start with bees. They're pretty distracted on their very burden of a task to keep the world safe from destruction and all. And they're actually very gentle in their nature, because there isn't even a colony to defend the hive or a nest when they're approached, only when they're destroyed. So bees are often so distracted by their daily tasks that they wouldn't care if a human got close to them, as long as they're not too close to the hive or nest and they're not giving off bad vibes. And spiders are the same. In fact, they are actually quite the introvert. they would want to hide from a human at all costs and never be found. In other words, they would really want to be left alone. So as long as you leave both of them alone, then they'll leave you alone and continue doing their job. So, in conclusion, spiders and bees have been around for over 100 million years each, and they both help the world in their own ways, such as bees help bloom flowers for our oxygen and food, and create honey for medicinal purposes and our delicious tastes. And spiders make sure that we have medical supplies such as band-aids and painkillers, and also kill annoying bugs that we would want to keep their populations low. And overall, they're completely harmless and would never hurt you as long as you never hurt them. So, bees and spiders are relatively harmless bugs, which would always help our ecosystem as time goes by, and as long as they exist. And if they don't exist, we probably won't exist for much longer. So remember, never ever kill a spider or a bee, because whenever you see a spider or a bee crawling near you, you should just remember to say hello and thank you for keeping the peace and order of the world we all live in, and to remember that they are actually being endangered every year more and more, which is bad. So tell your friends, tell your family, defend spiders and bees, make sure they are not killed, and if you see a bee or spider drowning in some puddle, save them. Thank you, and have a good night, or good day.